the fuck away. He goes, no, why do you hang out with a bunch of guys? I mean, it's like a bunch of gay guys wanting to go golf together or some shit, you know? And I'm going, I got the message, kid. Shut up, you know? And Wygant's listening to this shit, and he just goes, you know, your kid's got a point. I go, please don't encourage him. I mean, you know, it's like I do work with these people. I'm trying to help them get over their hump. He goes, well, if they want to hump, unless they do want to hump each other, so he started feeding into it. It was actually pretty funny, you know. And he goes, you know, the kid's got an idea there. You know, he goes, if all they do is, if a guy's gone to 4 or 5 seminars, and he goes, well, how many chicks have you got laid by at these seminars? And he goes, well, I haven't been laid, but I keep getting more information on how to get laid. He goes, you want some information? If you want pussy, go find a woman. Quit going to seminars with guys.
Here. You got me a point.
I mean, it's one, but again, it's back to one of my original points, and even though I've been kind of crude, I apologize, but the bottom line on it is, information's only information. If you don't implement it, if you do not experience it, all you're going to have is a bunch of information.
So tell me, Steve, one quick question here. Percentage-wise, of the guys you've met in the seduction community, if you had to pick a number, how many do you think are actually gay and just not dealing with it?
You got to define gay.
Okay, how many of them do you think are homosexuals who...
Does that mean a man having sex with a man?
Yeah, how many of them do you think would rather be with a man than actually be with a woman, and they just are in denial for whatever reason?
No, maybe they want to be with a woman, but they're still being with a man. Let me explain something. I did this exercise, and it got cut out of the DYD thing, man transformation. I had them put their hands straight up in the air. I go, men, put your hands up. Make a fist. Look at that hand. See that hand? That is a hand that has held more penis during orgasm than vagina.
Did he cut that out? They didn't let that go in?
And they just go, oh my God. They're just sitting there. David D'Angelo is going, dude, that's not G-rated, Steve. I go, no, I'm making a point. I go, look at that hand. That's a hand that holds cock during orgasm, not vagina. If you're holding the cock and making a man happy, so happy that he can come all over your hand or wherever you splooge it, you understand, you're making sex to a man. So, are you still doing that, or are you putting that thing down and being with a woman? I mean, you smell like dick. Sniff that hand. Does it smell like dick, or do you smell like pussy? Because you got to smell like something. And these guys are trying to keep this thing G-rated, right? And so Hypnotica looks at me and goes, brother, you definitely made sure our segment got cut, you know? But I go, but the point is, I mean, it was like, look, these guys go and learn a whole bunch of shit. And here's the thing about jerking off. If they want to go jerk off. I could care less. But the bottom line on it is, biophysically, when a guy jerks off, they go, oh, I just want to jerk off before I go out. Then they jerk off, and if they don't get out right then to where they're forced out into the stream, they're going to stay home because there's a biological chemical that's released called prolactin. Prolactin, after you blow your load, gets into the system and helps you just wind down and just relax. It's like when the 2 pump chunks blow. Here's the other thing about jerking off all the time. When guys jerk off all the time, they're training themselves to premature ejaculate. And the thing is, when they do get a woman, they ain't going to be any good with her. You know why? Because they're trying to hurry up and jerk off and get their loads off before somebody walks into the bathroom and has to take a shit, and they walk in and see that shit going on. You know? So, but the bottom line on it is, if guys would leave themselves alone, and it's like when they come down and they want to do the 2 or 3 week, the first thing I say is, you're not going to have sex with anybody, not even yourself, for the time you're here. Or else you got to leave. Now, here's the deal. Until you find a woman, you don't get to have sex with anyone else. You know? And the thing is, because the thing is, if you got prolactin release, I'm fighting them to get their asses out to get into the field, right? My kids go, these guys, I think they're gay or something. You know, my other kid, he's the one who does walkabouts. He goes, you know, I don't think these guys are interested. It's like, oh, I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to talk to her. I go, yeah, it's that whole thing about you got to jerk off before you go out in the field. That way you're not desperate.
You're not needy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going, no, if you're going to do that, go bang a couple of hookers at the local parlor, make sure you wear condoms, then go out in the field. I'd advise that, because you had sex with a female, and now you're going out and finding other females. And like some of these guys that were like college guys, like 19, 21, 22, youngsters, right? Mm-hmm. They're out there and they go, I mean, I have letters here, man. It's like they just wrote me, they go, dude, thank you so much for that advice, because I go down there, I knock it off, and man, I come back up, and these women are just, they're going, wow, you're the life of the party here. These other guys are all over us like we're a cheap suit and shit. And he goes, I don't tell him I went down to Adelita's or one of the other little parlors. He goes, but you know what? I already got my nuts, so now I'm just going out to find he goes, like you said, go find the good part. If it wasn't for sex, what would you like about this woman? Fish for information, because that when you put it on them and you really start sorting, like, wow, what would you do if you weren't sitting down there? I mean, what do you do that's interesting in your life? They love that, because instead of you trying to go, hey, baby, you like it in the ass, or, I mean, you like this or that, or you think David Bowie's cool, or some stupid fucking shit, you're asking him real questions, and he goes, man, I started to really engage, like, what is the real interesting thing? And when some of the chicks come off with some of the stuff, you go, wow, I never thought of it like that. But because I'm not horny, I'm not trying to go, oh, yeah, I'm not trying to just kind of like, hurry up, let's get to the next point, and then give me my next line of shit, He goes, I kind of go, well, that's kind of a cool thing, and you're just talking like friends, right? Mm-hmm. That's another thing. These guys go, well, I don't want to get put in the friend zone. I go, why not? I mean, my girlfriends are my friends. They really are my, couple of my best friends, and when we have a couple more girls